We are waiting for Stephen.
And this is Opio Stephen Kidega from Group 9, Project Procurement Management. We were given a question that we identify an organization of our choice. We identify clearly stating the goals, the objectives, the activities, and the inputs towards achieving these objectives, and we make a procurement plan. We identified FinCharge 8 International. FinCharge 8 International is the largest international aid organization founded in 1947 in Finland, and it has executed various projects across the world. And in the years, it has directed its energy in developing countries and war-torn areas, and also in refugee settlement, meaning countries that are relatively at peace and harboring a number of refugees. The goal of this organization, FinCharge 8 International, is to see a world comprising resilient and just societies where everyone's right to peace, quality education, sustainable livelihood has been fulfilled. And the agency has got a number of projects, and among which include nutrition, education, livelihood. And in our case, we are taking on livelihood department. Christopher, you're welcome. Take us from here.
Thank you very much, my brother, Stephen. I'm going to take us through the organizational livelihood objective and the main goal for this particular project. And the main goal is to contribute towards improved socioeconomic status of refugees and host community youth in Obongi district through skills training and employment opportunities. There are 3 objectives which we had formed. And one of it is to equip 445 youth in Obongi district with marketable and hands-on skills in order to start their own businesses, all self-employed by August 2023. The second objective is to capacitate 445 youth in Obongi district with strong entrepreneurship skills, which will aid them to start any business with ease by 2023, that is August. And the last objective for this very project is to provide psychosocial support and best life skills practices to 445 youth in Obongi district by the end of November 2022. So these are the main objectives for this project. And my sister Lagua Jane will take us through the main activities which we'll be able to use to fulfill this objective. Thank you very much. My sister, you're welcome.
Thank you. The livelihood project activities are the following. Number 1 is to conduct private sector scoping and study. And the resources we are going to need here is consultancy firm. 1 day orientation for selected private sector, that is activity number 2, and we shall need stationaries and a service provider for meals. Activity 3 is to conduct 5 days workshop for the instructors. We shall need stationaries as well as a service provider for meals. Our activity number 4, next slide. Activity number 4 is to conduct community awareness and inception meeting, where we shall need also the services of a service provider for refreshment. Activity 5 is form selection committee to develop the selection criteria. And here we shall need the refreshment only. Activity number 6 is to train 8 instructors on pedagogical business and other career skills. And here we shall need to hire an educational consultancy firm and also get a service provider to provide meals. Activity 7 is to organize child daycare services to facilitate the participants who have children. And here the resources we shall need are the playing materials and then a mattress where they will sleep. the babies will take a rest. Activity 8 is to train at least 445 youths. And here we shall need the training materials in terms of the tools and equipment, and also a service provider to provide for us meals. Activity number 9 is to train 45 trainees in tailoring. Here we shall also need the materials for the training. We also need a plastic chair for the trainees to sit on, and also a temporary shade as our resource. Activity number 10 is to provide career guidance and counseling. We shall hire a consultants firm here. And then the 445 youths will be trained in ICT and digital competencies. Here we shall need solar powered system and computers to train the youth. Organize on-job industrial training for the trainee. Here we shall need hygiene kits as our resources. Then finally, graduation ceremony where t-shirts and graduation gowns and feeding as our resources are required. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sister Jane, for that great presentation. The next to proceed is the procurement plan. This entails the details of the procurements that we shall have for this particular project, and is presented in a tabular form. The first column of the table is the number showing the number of total procurements that we shall have for that project. Then the description of the items to be procured is the next column. Then, of course, the unit measure, the unit of that items. Then the quantity of that item that we shall be procuring. The rate in Uganda currency, the estimated cost, also in Uganda currency, confirms source of funding for that, maybe for that budget line, and or it is coming from another source. Then the procurement category that we shall be using for each particular procurement that we shall be making for this project, and then method of procurement. Yes, the method of procurement being request for quotation or open domestic or international, depending on the scope of that procurement that we shall be making. The next column is the procurement duration, and the last column is the procurement time frame. I will call upon my colleagues to take you through the details of each procurement that we shall be having for this project, and then the summary of the whole total costs of the project. Thank you and welcome, Ambrose.
Yeah, thank you so much, Philip. This is Ambrose Opio. I'm going to take you through a brief of the different procurements that we are going to do under this project. Basically, the assignment of the procurement categories have been done according to the organization limits, whereby you will find other procurements are given, they are given pre-qualified suppliers, then others are open domestic, others we just send requests for quotations. Our main source of funding is GIZ, and you find that the categories of procurement that we have, as per the activities mentioned by our sister Jane, ranges in terms of supplies and services mostly. To sum it all, with the different activities that Jane mentioned, we find that we need an amount of 1,224,315,000 for the overall procurement of the project. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you, members. This is the end of our presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you too. We remain group 9.